Yo, what's good everyone? It is GlitchXCity here, and today I'll be giving you guys my week 3 match, my IPA week 3 match against the Arrogant Coin. If you guys want to check out his perspective, actually I don't know if he's uploading or not, but if you guys want to check out his channel, I'll put the link in the description and also his Twitter. But he is our week 3 match, and on the right of your screen you can check out his 11 Pokemon, his team, and on the left you can see our 6 Pokemon that we're going to bring for this matchup. So on his team, he has Mega Scizor, Ferrothorn, Tyranitar, Latios, Dragonite, Darmanitan, Suicune, Galvantula, Cofagrigus, Tyranitar, and Gardevoir. And yeah, the main things on his team that really threaten mine consists of the Darmanitan, Adidance, Dragonite, and the Latios. Those are the 3 main things that are scaring me, and possibly Tyranitar if he brings Pursuit for Victini. Now, one of the main things that I don't anticipate at all is that he won't bring Ferrothorn, and if he brings Ferrothorn, he doesn't bring Scizor. If he brings Scizor, he doesn't bring Ferrothorn. Why? Because I have Victini. I just really don't anticipate on him bringing 2 Pokemon 4 times weak to fire, especially when I have Victini, like I said. And yeah, on the screen, the first Pokemon, you can see some pretty heat sets. Well, yeah, just one basically, but like I said, it's just the Latios, the Dragonite, because Draco Meteor from Latios hurts. Dragonite with D-Dance is always scary, and you know, Darmanitan always hits hard, and Suicune is just a complete nuisance. But yeah, if you guys didn't watch the 2 past matches, you definitely go and watch it. Spoilers if you guys didn't watch, but first match we did win 4-0 against Young Barber, and second match we did go against Evan, coach of the Brighton Bonzors. We did successfully get a 6-0 sweep with a Belly Drum Azumarill, so hopefully we pull out a win today. Like I said, we do have 9 matches in the season, and we already picked up 2. So picking up a 3rd win would be great for our position and getting us into a comfortable spot. But first up on our team, we have Victini holding the Titanium Z. First time I'm using a Z move this week or this season. We have Blue Flare for my main stab, U-turn for initiative, Trick Room because of Galvantula in case he sets up webs. That can be our little backup, and Final Gambit. Titanium Z, a Z Final Gambit Okos Tyranitar, and I'm max. And since I'm max HP and Suicune, since Victini and Suicune both have base 100 HP, if I have Final Gambit and I'm at max HP, I can just completely eliminate the Suicune. So my plan is that I put on pressure with Victini, with Blue Flare on the Scizor and the Ferrothorn. I have U-turn, and then I can Final Gambit against the Tyranitar, get rid of that, and then also pick up a kill with the Suicune. So I could possibly get like 3, like at least 1 kill, if not the best would be 3 kills, because I'm basically sacrificing Victini for Suicune, and as long as I get that Z Final Gambit on the Tyranitar, I don't feel bad losing Victini as long as I get rid of those main threats. So yeah, like I said, we are at max HP, 12 in defense, 20 special attack, because that's really all we need, and enough speed to outspeed something, which I forgot about. Because his team is relatively slow, but his fastest mon is Latios at base 110. I'm pretty sure this outspeeds a max speed Darmanitan, I'm pretty sure. Because it reached, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Darmanitan, because that makes the most sense from what I'm looking at right now. But next up, we got our Christmas, the Xurkitree holding the Choice Scarf. This is our first time bringing it this season, making its nice debut. He has no ground types at all whatsoever on his team, so bringing Xurkitree was a complete must, just to spam like electricity on his whole team, because he literally has nothing. Now, the only thing that could be an answer would be a Tyranitar in the sand, maybe a Ferrothorn, and maybe Latios, I guess. But we're bringing Choice Scarf. Why? Because Xurkitree outspeeds a good amount of his team, not including a max speed Suicune, which I don't anticipate, our Darmanitan, a Galvantula, and a Latios, and anything else that's Scarfed. But the thing is that if I'm Scarfed and his Dragonite Scarfed, then I outspeed, because you know I naturally outspeed. If he sets up with Dragon Dance on Dragonite, then I outspeed. So, and even Tyrantrum, if it's Choice Scarf, I outspeed because I'm Scarfed and I naturally outspeed, and his team is just, majority of them are slow. We got Thunderbolt for main slab, Dazzling Gleam for Tyrantrum, Dragonite, and Latios, Volt Switch for just initiative to hit hard, and we got HP Ice for the Dragonite. I did originally have HP Fire for the Ferrothorn and the Scizor, but I thought I was just too scared of Dragonite, because even though I have Dazzling Gleam, it doesn't it doesn't do enough damage to my satisfactory, so I had to put HP Ice. You know, maybe it'll bite me in the butt later on, but we'll see. Yeah, nothing else to say about that set. We'll go into our Azumarill, which is max HP, max defense, impish. It's basically physically defensive. We got leftovers with huge power. Not really the typical Azumarill set that you would see, but we have Scald. Yes, I know we have Scald on a huge power Azumarill. Encore, Play Rough, and Perish Song. We got Scald mainly for physical threats like, I don't know, I just didn't feel like running Waterfall. I don't know why, like, I just don't feel like running Waterfall. Encore for things like Ferrothorn. If it like sets up rocks or spikes, I can Encore it, force a switch. Play Rough for main stab, I can Oko Latios, I can Oko, I do a lot of damage to Tyrantrum and Tyranitar, and it's just all around good move. And we have Perish Song for things like Ferrothorn, and for things like Suicune, if it sets up a Calm Mind, I can get that Perish Song off, be able to eat any hit he got, and then, you know, I won't get swept. And I got Xurkitree too, so the chances of him setting up a Suicune is pretty unlikely, but, you know, it's always there. Next up, we got Excadrill, our Rufus, Leftovers, Mold Breaker. And yes, I do know he has a Tyranitar with Sandstream, but I could have run Sand Rush, but I feel like Mold Breaker is a better option, I guess I would say. I don't know. I'm really anticipating Latios, but I guess Absol, like you'll see later on, maybe he won't bring it. But I don't know. I just like Mold Breaker. I mean, nothing else on his team Mold Breaker really helps other than Levitate on Latios. And I guess I could put Sand Rush, but you know, we'll see. We got Earthquake. Okay, for main stab, Rapid Spin, because I really don't want webs on my side, and I really don't want him to hazard stack me with Ferrothorn. And Toxic to hit things like Tyranitar, not Tyranitar, like Cofagrigus, Latios, Suicune. Hit us some of his walls. And we got Stealth Rocks, because, you know, that's my only rocker on this team. And I need rocks for multi-scale on Dragonite, and just chip damage in general. Next up, we got Checkmate, or Pyukumuku. This time we're running Light Clay, we're running Innards out once more. We got Baton Pass as always. No recovery this time at all. Reflect, Light Screen, basically dual screens with Memento. Memento contributes to the following Pokemon you'll see next. We have a 244 HP, 172 defense, and 92 in Spadef. Impish nature, not impish, relaxed. But yeah, this is basically to just switch in on his threats like Darmanitan, Tyrantrum, Scizor, Tyranitar. Yeah, basically those physical threats. That's why I'm mainly physically defensive. I can also switch into Suicune, get a slow Baton Pass, go into Xurkitree, and get the initiative there. So this works out really well for my team, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. Next up, last but not least, we have Chelsea also making her debut. Our Mega Absol. We got Dark Pulse, Baton Pass, Calm Mind, Flamethrower. Now, this originally was a physically offensive set, but I was actually thinking like this is probably be better. I got Dark Pulse for main stab. To contribute from Calm Mind along with Flamethrower, of course to hit the Galvantula, not the Galvantula, yeah, I guess Galvantula too, but mainly the Ferrothorn and the Scizor, and then Baton Pass. You know, maybe I'm predicting a switch, or maybe I can pass the Calm Mind boost to maybe Xurkitree or Victini, and then put in a lot of work. But yeah, that's our team right there. We'll go right into the match. Hopefully we pick up the W, but you guys will see in Sulon. So I'll pause it real quick, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, we're back. We got the team right here, and yeah, we got the matchup right here. He brought the Suicune, the Ferrothorn, Dragonite, Tyranitar, Galvantula, and Tyrantrum. And you guys already knew what we brought, but you know, unless you skipped the stupid team builder, I'll just sum it up. We have a Titanium Z Final Gambit Victini, a Choice Scarf Xurkitree, max defensive, max HP Azumarill, a specially defensive Speedy Excadrill with rocks, physically defensive Pyukumuku, and a Calm Mind Baton Pass Mega Absol. Now, you guys already see this on the screen because my recording is really bad, but yeah, I should go ahead and lead off with Excadrill. I was thinking of leading with Xurkitree on the off chance he led with Suicune, but I didn't know if he was going to predict me or not, and I was scared of Tyrantrum, and I was scared of Tyranitar, so I made the safe play, and I lead with Excadrill, as he leads with the Suicune, like I once said. So I'm here, I'm just here, I'm forced to switch out. I have to go into Pyukumuku. He can predict that if he wants, but there's no reason for me to like predict first turn and then like get absolutely destroyed. So we eat up that skull pretty nicely. As he goes into Ferrothorn, I'm gonna go straight for the Baton Pass, get the initiative, and I'm gonna go out into my Absol. Now, if you watch the team builder, you guys know that I have Flamethrower in here. Now, I could have gone into my Victini, but the thing is that I didn't want to go to Victini, click Blue Flare, and he ends up being an Akaberry set, and then my Victini just gets absolutely either knocked off, which is crucial damage, or either T-Wave, which would be worst case scenario. So instead I go into Absol. I'm gonna go here. Now you would think that I would probably click Flamethrower to burn its Akaberry, but the chances of him going into something like Dragonite or just something that resist fire would be kind of high, kind of likely. So instead of clicking Flamethrower, I'm gonna Mega Up and click Dark Pulse, but he instead goes into Suicune, so I was kind of right there. I didn't want to click Flamethrower. I click Dark Pulse, and this shouldn't do too much, but that does 37%, and that, based on the calc I did, I know this thing is not max HP, so that's really great to know. Maybe has a little bit of speed investment. He goes into Galvantula as he predicts my Pyukumuku, but I instead go for Baton Pass. Because one, I'm not going to stay in there with Absol against a Suicune, so instead of hard switching into Pyukumuku, I Baton Pass as he hard switches into Galvantula. So really good play on our part. I go into Excadrill, take this opportunity to set up my rocks. He makes a good play, goes into his Dragonite before the Multis goes broken. But I'm going to go here and go for Toxic because most likely this thing will go for Dragon Dance. I do have enough. I went first because I have enough speed to outspeed this. Now predicting the Earthquake, I'm going to go into my max defensive Azu, which just eats up this Earthquake so easily. And like, I should be able to take this out with a Play Rough. But here he goes for Thunder Punch. I live barely on 2% and he gets the Para. And I go for Parasong. Now you guys might be thinking like, wow, you're stupid. You should have gone for Play Rough. The only reason why I went for Parasong is because I was scared he was going to go into something like Ferrothorn. I'd take like unnecessary Iron Barbs damage. But to be honest, this is a complete misplay because I should have just gone for Play Rough. This thing would have been gone. If he went into Ferrothorn, then he went into Ferrothorn. I would have found out his item. If he was leftovers, I would have found out if he had an item or not. I would have found out if he was Rocky Helmet. So this was like a really bad play on my part. And like, other than Dragonite, this also didn't really serve much purpose other than the Tyranitar and Tyrantrum. So yeah, I mean, I got paralyzed, so it doesn't matter. I mean, I could have saved this for Death Fodder. So yeah, I would consider this a really bad play on my part. I just lose my Azumarill for no reason. And I was actually thinking he might have Extreme Speed instead of Thunder Punch. Like, I'm pretty sure he had like Dragon Dance, Extreme Speed, Earthquake, and some Dragon Stab. That was my prediction, but he had Thunder Punch instead. So really bad misplay on our part. I go into my Scarf Circuitry. I know I outspeed. I take it out with a Volt Switch. And now it's 5-5. We just go ahead and pick off the Dragonite. And I go into my Victini because I didn't want him to go into his Ferrothorn. He goes into Tyrantrum, and this already tells me that this thing is Scarf. I'm predicting a Head Smash, so I go into Pyukumuku. Goes for Earthquake, and based off that, he's either Jolly Scarf or Adamant Scarf. He predicts my Baton Pass, and he goes for Earthquake again, which I don't really mind, to be honest. I mean, I'm still going to go into Circuitry. Here, he knows I'm Scarf. I'm going to go for Dazzling Gleam. He goes into Tyranitar. I'm like, good. I'm going to get some super effective damage off. I go for Dazzling Gleam, and it does absolutely nothing. It did 26%. So, after doing some calcs, I found out he's max HP Assault Vest, or I'm pretty sure he is. And yeah, my Dazzling Gleam does nothing, and I just can't stay in. I'm going to switch out, going to Pyukumuku. I'm surprised he didn't have Pursuit. He goes for Earthquake, and my Pyukumuku is basically rendered useless. I'm at 2%, and he can basically just kill me off. Now, he goes for Earthquake, picks me off, but look, that 1% was actually pretty crucial, because right here, after my Pyukumuku dies, I'm going to go into my Victini and try and fire off a Z Final Gambit. Now, he may predict that and go and switch something else, but I don't know. I just wanted to click Z Final Gambit. If not, I could still use Final Gambit later on. It'll be still pretty useful considering that I'm at a high amount of HP. But for Z Final Gambit to Oko, I would have to, for the set, I know, if he's max HP Assault Vest, he has, the max roll I can get is 61%, and he was like literally above that. So, you know, even though that 2% enters out didn't seem like it mattered, it kind of mattered in the way that I would have had a chance. So here, I just go straight up for the Z Final Gambit. Unfortunately for me, he goes into Suicune, and yeah, he just eats up this Z Final Gambit like it's nothing. So I basically wasted my Z move for nothing. But, you know, it's kind of on the bright side. I mean, it takes the Suicune down really low. Thankfully enough for me, I'm able to pick this thing off with a Blue Flare. So, you know, it's 4-4 right now, but like, he has so much offensive pressure, it's crazy. He goes into Tyrantrum, and yeah, I'm still, I really need to sack something. I can't lose my Victini. I go into Absol, and this really pains me to just go ahead and sack off my Absol like this. Kind of makes me regret going special. If I went physical, I could have gone for Sucker Punch. But here I go into circuitry. He knows I'm scarfed, and here you see he switches out. He goes into Tyranitar. And instead of going for Dazzling Gleam, I go for Volt Switch. This was a really crucial play because if he stayed in with Tyranitar and I click Volt Switch, then I basically had to sack another Mon off. So this was a really game change. This is a really game changer in terms of plays. So I know he's not. I know he's like leftovers or something. I know he's a Sylvester. So I go into Excadrill on a Tyranitar, and here I double out into my Victini, predicting his Ferrothorn because I know he can't lose his Tyranitar. He just can't. So here, predicting the Ferrothorn, I double out into Victini, which like I said, another really good game changer because this puts me in a really good position. He goes into Galvantula, and this is actually really bad for me because I didn't consider this. If I had killed the Ferrothorn, my Xurkitree would have straight up won with Choice Scarf Dazzling Gleam. But no, he sacks out Galvantula, which is really bad for me. He goes for Earthquake, and because I'm max HP with Final Gambit, I am able to eat up this Earthquake. Seeing how he doesn't click Head Smash, probably fearing the fact that I may go into Excadrill, which 4 times resisted. So he goes for Earthquake, knowing that he most likely will go for Earthquake. I stay in, and I live it like pretty barely on 25%. I U-turn out, go into my Xurkitree, and here's where the game turns out to be. This is a very close match. We're now 3-3. He has a Choice Scarf Tyrantrum with Earthquake, which the remaining 3 Pokemon on my team are all weak to ground, may I say. My 2 bulky waters are dead, and I just sacked off one of my offensive Pokemon, being Absol. So here I'm scarfed. He knows that. And last time I went for Volt Switch. Either I go for Volt Switch and this Tyrantrum stays in, and then I sack something else off, or I Volt Switch, he goes into like Ferrothorn, and then I get the initiative, and I'm a good spot, and I'm in a good spot. Or I can click Dazzling Gleam, he stays in, and this Tyrantrum dies, or I go for Dazzling Gleam, he goes into Ferrothorn, and I'm in once again another bad position. Because if I stay in and click Dazzling Gleam, and he goes into Ferrothorn, then I don't know, like my Excadrill can't do much. I don't have HP Fire on my Xurkitree, which I really regret at this point. So yeah, so in the end, I could have Volt Switched because Volt Switch actually did like 25% and Thunderbolt did like 38%. So if I Volt Switch here, then I could have sacked something, go back into Xurkitree and to spam Thunderbolt. The only problem with that is that the Ferrothorn is the problem. That's why I needed that thing dead. The Ferrothorn is the main problem. So here, going for game, basically, I stay in. And I just basically go for the Dazzling Gleam. Thankfully enough for me, he stays in. I was so happy. I was like, thank God, the Lord. Like, for real. If he switched out, I would have been in a really bad position. He goes into Ferrothorn, and at this point, I'm pretty sure it's GG because my Victini or my Excadrill should be able to clean up. He goes for T-Wave, predicting my Victini, and I was like, nope. I have 4 attack investments. I go for Earthquake, and it does almost half, 43%. I'm like, okay, this Ferrothorn is definitely not max defensive, or else it would have done less. But seeing how much that does, I go for Earthquake, and it's at 21%. He goes for Gyro Ball. Now, on the turn before, he clicked Stealth Rocks, and that was actually really bad for me because my Victini was literally at like 24.9%. So I would have died upon switching, but you know, at the moment, I was like, oh crap, he got rocks up, I could lose, but I was like, no, Excadrill just cleans up, and if not, then I can just click Rapid Spin, and then Victini is safe once more. So I just pick out this Ferrothorn on the next turn with an EQ, and yeah, and that should be basically game. The crit didn't matter, I'm pretty sure, and yeah, we got a nice 3-0 victory as, you know, Excadrill just cleans up with Earthquake, and that's a dead Tyranitar. So going against the odds, thankfully enough for us, we are able to win 3-0. But like seriously, on this whole entire game, I was on the edge. Like I had to make some really like thought out plays to like get back in this game because the Azu play was a big mistake. I didn't prep for Tyrantrum enough because I didn't anticipate it, and like, you know, like it was basically, in the end, it was basically all mind games that. It was basically mind games that decided the match because, you know, if I had Volt Switched and he stayed in, then I probably would have lost. But, you know, either way, good game to the Arrogant Coin. I'll put his link in the description once again. Thankfully enough for us, we are 3-0, 6 more matches to come. So if we can just keep up this winning streak, then we'll be in a good position. I'm comfortable with my team. You know, there's a few changes I can make, like circuitry, but the cool thing about this is that my 3 remaining Pokemon all got 2 kills, and then my 3 other Pokemon were basically there to die. Yeah, that's a 3-0 win for us. So if I do my math right, we are 3-0 with a plus 13 differential, and I'm pretty sure we're in first place as of week 3. Maybe I may be wrong, you know, because there's another specific friend out there that may be against that. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more league matchups to come, and yeah, I'll see you guys later for the week 4 of the IPA season 1 against Gingeman, I believe. Yeah, against Gingeman. I don't know his team name, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.